What about when do you think we'll see the bottom?
When we're going to see this bottom of this current market here.
Yeah, for crypto, let's talk about Bitcoin specifically.
Yeah, so like signs of the bottom there. There's a few things there. So we talk about sort of this one thing we're looking for the signs of the bottom, because people are going, well, how do we know it's a bottom? Because even like it was 25k, then it just went up to 31 and got rejected and came back down. There's going to be several of those. Mm-hmm. There's going to be so many where we just see, a 10% rally, maybe even a 20% rally.
Altcoins, the thing that was interesting about this recent rally, altcoins pumped, like 40, 50, 60, they're like, all right, we're back on.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the up and down that we'll see when they get brought back to earth the second time, because buyers keep buying the dip. They're going to run out of money to buy the bottom dip.
Exactly. So what are we looking for? What do we mean by that peak negativity? Well, here's some stats for you, Dossa.
Okay.
So since the start of 2021,
yep,
investors have put $1.5 trillion into mutual funds and exchange traded funds globally, right? So far...
Which are considered like safe investments, the safer investments.
Well...
ETFs compared to picking your own stocks.
It's certainly not crypto.
Yeah.
And so far, they've only taken out about 35 billion.
Right.
So that's not this max pain capitulation that we're talking about. So for that, you're probably more seeing that 300 billion in withdrawals, right? Mm-hmm. So, and stock allocations are at 63% among portfolios in private client networks. So again, you'd be seeing a drop of maybe in the 50% range. Okay, so it's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Other things, the Max Fear Index,
the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index.
Yeah.
So that's a very popular market sentiment tool that you see. Very easy to get. You just go onto Twitter. They've got their own little page there. But that I don't know exactly how they come to it, but it gives you a sentiment of the market between 1 and 100. 0 is extreme fear and 100 is extreme greed. And we're currently sitting at 9. So that's extreme fear in the Bitcoin market, which potentially suggests that we could maybe be closer to the bottom than we think. But it's historically, it's been a good time to buy when Bitcoin is in extreme fear.
Exactly.
But the thing is, depending on your time frame, it could stay at extreme fear for a while. But it depends on your time frame. If you want to hold it for longer, like, people that we know, big shout out to Darcy in the chat, he can just, like, his great mentality, dollar cost average, buy stuff, and just he's okay to not look at it for a while, which is great, because if you're buying these quality projects, these big market cap projects, and you can just go, hey, we'll look at this in a few years' time, and the trend will probably go up.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for long-term buys, when the fear and greed index is really low, similar to where it is now, that is historically been a good time to buy.
Yes. And, well, on that, the other big thing that I'm looking at is sort of that high volume selling climax, right? Yes. When the volume of selling is getting to that climax where everyone's just dumping. And I don't feel that's there yet.
Not yet.
As we were sort of saying, there's been a lot of sell-offs, but there's not. When we look at that volume of sell-offs, that's really what's going to indicate that bottom, because obviously everyone's just exiting the market and that volume isn't there in the buying to hold that price there, right?
Well, there's selling, but there's also a lot of buying too, right? Because there are, even though the monetary conditions are tighter, there are big institutions who've been good with their money, who've maybe foresawn this or just done good risk.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's why I don't feel that we've seen that max sell-off and that volume of selling outpace the volume of buying.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And that's why all these rallies that we're getting are getting knocked down.
Yes.
But I think when Bitcoin and some of these cryptos get low enough that you're looking at it and you're going like, hey, this is a pretty good price to get in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you can't always time the bottom, right?
No, and that's it. Like, arguably now, like, many things have gone down 50% from where they were. Even
60, 70%.
Yeah. like, I mean, it's hard to say, but stuff has gone down at least 50%. Many things have gone down 50% in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
So, arguably right now it might not be a bad time to DCA because we have seen a big decrease. So you're not going to be too upset. But then, as you said, you can't ever time the bottom. But these are just some things that we've highlighted that are going to indicate the bottom. And I think the key there is not to rush into it, that there seems to be more pain. All the macro stuff we highlighted earlier, people are going to be a bit short of a quid.
Mm-hmm.
The average person isn't going to be going into risk markets, and then institutional money is risk off at the moment. So I think those factors is really going to reduce the amount of buy volume there. And so we'll see. So where do you feel we are going to go?
Well, there is some technical analysis you can be quite more confident with than others. Mm-hmm. And this is something that I think has had a 100% hit rate. It was what we spoke about last week, the date with Destiny. But every time that Bitcoin has closed a monthly candle, meaning that at the end of the month, that's where the candle ended. The candle
price is up.
Yeah, on a chart. When it's closed under the 50-week simple moving average, it has always gone to at least the 200-week simple moving average, which has historically been the best times to buy.
Now, I know Mum's going to ask me, what is a simple moving average?
I couldn't put words to it. It's a indicator that is the average of what the price has been doing in the past 200 weeks. The average of the price. I don't know how they get it, but I know that it's important.
It's magic.
People much smarter than I are looking at technical analysis. I just listen to what they say and what with their predictions about what they think will happen, and they give their reasonings as to why.
So with that 200 simple moving average.
Yeah. So, and that's where it kind of generally gets to around a closing basis, meaning that's where if we might go down to that, which currently sits, I think, around $21,000 to $21,500 Bitcoin.
Heard it here first, guys. DOS's financial advice.
Non-financial advice.
Sorry. Not financial advice. Do your own research. But we're looking at around potentially that 21K mark.
Which we're not far off it, right?
No, we're not. And look, there's lots of stuff to say that if there's huge fear in the markets, we can go a whole lot lower. And then what happens if, someone like Sailor has to sell and people get liquidated if we go below that. I'm really looking, I've got some alerts around that 23K mark.
Yeah.
I'll be looking to get in. If it's around the 21, we could go lower than that. I'll be looking to do a lot of DCAing around that 21 mark.
If it goes lower than that, which I think it will, I think we probably will see a $19,000 Bitcoin. Wow. I think that's on the cards.
Some alpha right there.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll be there for long.
Right.
So it'll wick down, and then people will be like, hey, Bitcoin for under 20K, probably a good deal.
Yeah.
Let's
probably see some big buying pressure there.
Let's sell a kidney. Let's jump in. Yeah. But that's a little while away. It might take us a little while to get there.